In a world of spiritual influencers and public dawah figures, trust is currency, and with trust comes responsibility. But what happens when that trust is weaponized, twisted into manipulation, secrecy, and abandonment? Before I proceed, let me level with you. I do not want to be here speaking about these issues. I do not want to be the face of any online movement. I have nothing to gain, yet have everything to lose. But why? Why do I feel so compelled to speak up? Because someone has to speak up. Someone has to do the not so popular work. Especially when all the leaders and organizations that should be fighting for the rights of those transgressed within our community, they all remain silent. You know why? Because it doesn't help their brand. It doesn't bring in the hundreds and thousands, if not millions in donations. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep me and the others helping behind the scenes sincere in our efforts. Allahumma ameen. Behind Veils is not just a channel. It is a movement, a space for the unheard, the betrayed, and the silenced. And today, we bring forward one of the most troubling stories we've encountered, because the man at the center of it isn't just a figure in our ummah. He's a global personality who commands influence, wields scholarship, and yet, behind closed doors, denies a marriage he once entered. This is the case of Sister Aisha. Her real name is concealed for protection, her voice unshaken, her truth revealed. After months of conversations, evidence gathering, and consultation with scholars, we reached out to Mohammed Hijab, not to ambush, not to sensationalize, but to give him the opportunity to speak. Instead, we were met with deflections, threats, manipulation, and a disturbing refusal to acknowledge what multiple witnesses, texts, and even a sheikh confirmed, that a secret nikah did occur, and a woman was left in emotional and spiritual devastation. We were told it was all fabricated. We were told she was obsessed. We were told, produce evidence or leave me alone. But here's the thing. When a man of influence hides behind false oaths, auto-deleting messages, wears a mask to a hotel, and tells a woman, you accepted this, after promising her love, family, and care, this isn't just about a failed marriage. It's about abuse. It's about deception under the guise of Islam. It's about the power dynamics in the realm of spirituality. It's about betrayal from someone who called himself her teacher, her leader, her protector. This is not entertainment. This is not fitna. This is the fallout of unchecked power in religious clothing. The sister sought help after what she deemed was a deceptive secret marriage, going to different shuyukh. Yet no one wanted to step up and investigate Mohammed Hijab's actions. Everyone turned a blind eye. Sounds all too familiar, doesn't it? Subhanallah. She even met with Adi Dawa, who conducted a 1.5-hour interview with her, under the condition that she doesn't mention the name, but focuses on the allegations and her experience. Despite agreeing to that, he later informed her that he will not be publishing the interview. Go figure. After all, Adi Dawa is buddies with Mohammed Hijab. Just prior to Ramadan, the sister filed for a case to be opened with the Islamic Council of Europe. Only time will tell if they are willing to investigate one of their peers. Here is Sister Aisha's voice, uninterrupted, unfiltered, and finally heard.
I never thought that one day I'm going to have to come out publicly on social media and speak about something like this. People who work for Islam and to protect our religion have always been more than family to me. And Mohammed Hijab in specific, I had a lot of respect and trust in him because of how scholars are praising him worldwide, and obviously because of his position and his knowledge and all of that. I'm going to share this today, not because I want to, but because I have to. And I take an oath in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I'm only going to be sharing the truth. And my purpose is for the truth to prevail and for justice to be served and for there to be accountability, and that we don't give unconditional impunity to our elites, because this is not how our religion has been preserved. This is the story of my marriage to Mohammed Hijab. and how his actions that he claims are permissible by Allah have completely destroyed my life. I'm coming from a religious family. My father is part of the da'wah himself, organized da'wah work. I was part of an organized da'wah group in my own country growing up since I was a teenager. This is the life that I wanted to have, and I just wanted to make sure that when I die, I'm going to die on the faith of Islam, and I'm going to try my best to spread it everywhere as much as I can. So that's how we met. It was for a da'wah work that was liaised between us through an Islamic institute. He asked me a few questions about myself, if I was married. I told him I was going through a divorce. So he told me that he worked for an Islamic council at the time. He gave me his contact details and told me to contact him if I needed help and to go forward to that council to try and reconcile the marriage. He was very respectful. He was trying to help me. He knew all the details about that case, and he was helping me throughout the whole process. Fast forward, he started giving me hints that he's interested in getting married to me. He spoke to me about himself, his family, his childhood, his preferences. He told me I am not like your ex-husband. Whatever you see on social media, don't worry, because I'm very good as a husband. My life was extremely hard, and he knew that, and I am his neighbor. I couldn't understand why he was giving me all those hints every time, but he never took that step. Whenever I found a suitor that I started considering to introduce to my father, it was extremely hard for me to navigate that by myself. Mohammed Hijab used to come back again. This cycle continued a few times. At that stage, I didn't know if he was divorced or not, until he asked for my hands. Formally, he told me, would you like to consider me as a husband? He told me it's going to be polygyny. At that stage in my life, I wasn't ready for polygyny. When he proposed to me, he told me it's polygyny. I asked him to give me some time to pray istikhara. I wasn't sure, but when I thought about it, I thought he's a good man. I think from what I see and from how the scholars are praising him, he is going to be capable of taking care of a big family. He is qawwam, he is a guardian, he is knowledgeable, he is religious, he is pious, and he is praiseworthy. Further to that, he was pushing the idea and reassuring me that I'm going to be very happy with him. He reassured me so many times and told me that I should never worry that he's not going to be keeping this family safe. He told me that he's ready and he's going to be taking care of everything. So there were so many things I took into consideration based on which I built my trust. Mohammed Hijab was trustworthy for me 100% for so many reasons. It's not only that he gave me his words and he's famous. I took time. I thought about it very deeply. I ticked boxes, a very long list of boxes. His mother, his care of his family, the fact he was able to keep his family together for a very long time with his kids, and he memorized the whole Quran. He's in the front line of the da'wah. He's praised. There is a testimony of hundreds of scholars around the world who are praising him. He was placed in a position of marriage counseling, divorce in the Islamic Council. There were so many things. It was not for me just like the emotional element of it, because he expressed his feelings to me, but I had feelings for him too. It was not just that. For me, it was a very big, rigorous process that I took, based on which, at that stage, whatever promise he would make, I would trust him. إن قالها فقد صدق. I am excited. I am happy, I'm gonna have kids, and I was ready to have children, and we have the same ambition, the same lifestyle, the same priorities in life. All of a sudden, he stopped everything. He said, I think the best thing for me to do for you right now is that I wouldn't go ahead with this marriage. I was confused, especially after he opened up about his feelings. He spoke to my father. He's been pushing the idea forward. I had feelings for him too. I tried to get explanations from him, but he didn't give me any reply. So we stopped contact. It took me a very long time trying to recover, and we stopped contact completely. After like 8 months, he contacted me again. He apologized and said I couldn't go ahead with the marriage last time because I had personal reasons. I am back, I am here now. Let's go ahead with this. I am ready. Don't worry, we're gonna go ahead with this time. Let's just make things quick. And he was rushing up the process. Obviously, I told him you have to talk to my father again. And like, it was quite hard this time, especially that he told me he's not ready to make a big wedding back in my country. I told him that's okay. He said, I am not ready. I'm not able to go and meet your dad in person for personal reasons. And I trusted him. He said, let's do this over Zoom. It's actually halal. And you just have to convince your dad. But he told me I'm not ready to show my face. I was confused. I told him my dad is not going to agree to this. My father told him that my daughter and her child go together and they are a trust around your neck, an amana. He told him, don't worry, they are going to be in very safe hands. He promised that he's going to be meeting my family later. My dad gave me the permission to go ahead with the marriage. After we consummated the nikah, Mohammed Hijab kept on reassuring me, told me, look, I am here for this. There is nothing that could possibly make me act like those players or those men that are incapable or not going to preserve their families and so on. And he told me, regardless of what could possibly happen, I'm going to preserve this family. Gradually, the new rules showed. He's not going to speak to my family ever because he's Islamically not obliged to, he said. It's not necessary. It's going to give us more freedom. And he worked on convincing me of that opinion, Islamic opinion. I actually didn't even have to let them know that we did go ahead with the marriage. And that way we're going to have more freedom. Then he told me, look, let's just book a flight and go out of the country and just forget about that. Let's just have a good, free life. And you're not going to have to explain yourself to anyone. Most of the marriages break because of the in-laws. Let's just not add more in-laws in the picture. After the nikah, Mohammed Hijab wanted a sex marriage. He wanted a hotel marriage. But it didn't stop there. There was more to come. He told me, listen, just act like a girlfriend. We're going to have like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Don't worry, it's halal. We're married now. He wasn't asking about my rent, my provision. He never asked about those and never offered to pay for them. Then he went on a trip, a da'wah trip, and he told me that he was not ready to argue about my family situation. He said, don't worry, just delay it. We're going to talk about it when I come back. So we carried on. We had like interactions like a husband and wife. And I was waiting for him to come back in order for him to talk to my family and get their blessings. But I told them, my father is going to ask me now if we did go ahead with the marriage. I have to give him a reply. He told me, just lie. Delay it. Tell him we didn't go ahead with it yet. I was stuck because I can't talk to my father and tell him, well, the man I told you to blindly trust and sign a contract with him for marriage doesn't want to talk to you because he's Islamically not obliged to. Your sister is just going to be jealous of you. She's older. She's never been married before. You're going to get used to this situation. It's halal. There is nothing wrong with it. Why are you making things difficult? Don't worry, I'm going to try not to get you pregnant. This is a real relationship. I'm going to keep this like this for the rest of our life. I told him, are you going to change this for what you promised me at a later time? He said, no, this arrangement works the best for me, and I have no intention of changing it. As soon as he said that, I asked for divorce. He confirmed that he had no intention of paying the bills or the rent. He said, you didn't ask me for that when we were getting married. He said that he just wanted to have full discretion. Everything is up to him. He will never change the hotel ever. He will never speak to my family ever. He's not going to be paying for anything. And we're not going to have kids. Not going to be taking care of my daughter. Nothing. We're never going to have a home. Every word he uttered was trauma for me. Every single one of them harmed me, carved wounds inside my heart. I was sick. I was traumatized. I was shocked. I was not ready to hear that. I asked for divorce, and he gave it to me. And he was very angry. He said, why are you refusing something that is halal? This is misyar. Why are you not accepting it? He was very angry. He said, what am I going to tell my friends now? And I was confused. You have completely destroyed my life, my emotions, my mental health, my physical health, my social interactions. I broke. There is no one to take care of my daughter at all. I was completely broken. Many years of interactions, nice promises, speaking to my father and promising him many nice things, telling me that there is love in this and so on. And at the end, that's what I ended up with. After we argued a lot after our divorce, he told me, look, I can take you back if you want to accept what I asked from you. I said, obviously, I will never accept something like that. I couldn't even believe that he was asking me something like that at all. I was sick. After some time, again, during my iddah, he told me, okay, look, I'm going to fix up everything now. Going to involve your family and all those things that we agreed to. I couldn't trust him anymore. I contacted the sheikh and I was like, I really don't know what I have to do. I don't know whether or not to trust him anymore. In our final interaction, he was like, look, that arrangement of meeting in hotels is what I was looking for. And I thought you are the best suitor for that kind of marriage. It is halal. And that's the only arrangement that works for me. And I'm really sorry, but that's all what I wanted. He called it sex marriage. He called it a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And all of these things were mentioned after he got married to me. After he dragged me emotionally for years, for him, I was giving up on so many real options for marriage. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to take care of myself. I needed guardianship, me and my daughter, because I can't play both roles. I was struggling a lot. This is the guy I got married to, and I thought, alhamdulillah, finally I am safe. Mohammed Hijab was the only man in this country I could ever possibly trusted this much. He knew everything about my life, my ambition, my background, my family. He knew everything. He knew my father is a very old man. He knew that I would struggle a lot to find a suitable husband because there is no one to help me vet anybody. He reassured me a lot about all of these details. Told me, you are in safe hands. I will take very good care of you, keep you safe. He told me I am not like those men who trash women the next day. He told me that he fights against feminism. After he married me, he wanted me to be independent. He told me if I take care of all the women around me and I deal with all their needs, I'm never going to be able to do anything for the da'wah. He didn't want to pay for the bills. He said, you didn't ask for it during the nikah. He wanted me to play both the role of a man and a woman in my life. He used to fight the red pill movement. And now he was using their own statements with me. It's okay, you're gonna get used to it, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I don't think that there is anyone who could ever possibly get to understand the degree of damage this whole thing has caused me. Mohammed Hijab for me was a representation of 23 years of da'wah. For me, he was a role model. He was a man of knowledge. He was someone I respected and I did put at a very high scale. I followed this exact same process that we normally use, based on which we get to trust men of religion who are sharing with us the Quran and Sunnah. When I realized I was going through an extremely horrible mental health crisis, I reached out to one of the shuyukh. I just wanted someone to help me understand what happened. My trauma did grow even bigger because Muhammad's hijab's reaction to that was crazy. He started threatening me as well to silence me openly. He was like, listen, if you're going to expose this, I can get away with it. I can say anything as an excuse. And you're not gonna get nothing from that. No one is gonna have pity on you. Women will not. Men will not. I can give any excuse. I can tell them I was sexually not satisfied. In fact, I don't even have to give any excuse whatsoever. I gave you a mahr. There were 2 witnesses. That's it. Done. It was sealed. I'm safe. I never ever imagined these kind of actions would come from him. Ever. Anyone, but not him. So he followed a list of Islamic rulings as he claims. And nothing of what he did was actually haram. It's Islamically all right to give false promises to a woman you intend to get married to. You're Islamically not obliged to fulfill those promises. You are not obliged Islamically to speak to your in-laws. You don't even have to ask for their blessings after the nikah and congratulations. It's Islamically okay to live in a hotel. A husband can go to wherever he wants with his wife. He's not obliged to pay for anything. He's not obliged to provide because I didn't need provision. It's Islamically okay not to have kids. The Sahaba used to avoid having kids. It's Islamically okay to keep everything secret, to preserve the marriage, even if you are to show up in the hotel separately and come out from it separately. The shuyukh I reached out to them made me even more traumatized. Some of them said, he is right. All these things are halal, as long as the 4 pillars of nikah were met. You can't know what his intention is, but his intention is actually very clear. This is a no-string marriage. He said that with the intention of divorce. He articulated that. He encouraged others to go for these options. He openly and proudly said there is nothing wrong with marriage with the intention of divorce. And through deception, because actually a man is not obliged to Islamically fulfill his promises. There were no actions taken. I asked for help. I wanted these things to be resolved between scholars. I asked for justice. I wanted there to be actions taken. I was harmed. I was harmed. My life was harmed. He completely destroyed me and he was proud of it. Our elites and people who are at the front of this work, they have to be held accountable. It's the silence of scholars and lack of accountability and complete scrutiny that creates monsters. I wanted to have a good life. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to be happy. You have completely destroyed my life and that of my daughter. All the ambition and emotions and dreams I had for religion, I wanted to be part of. Everything that I wanted in my life, that is completely destroyed because of you. I do ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be the judge. I am never going to forgive you. Every breath of time that I have gone throughout all these years, because of you, in your falsehood, in your oppression, in your transgression, I do ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to pay me back for that. I will never forgive you. I would like you to bring forward your evidence, and I want to challenge you to mubahala. Your sin is not a sin that has to be concealed. This is not something you did between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in hiding and you repented. This is not what you have done. This is something that you have doubled on. This is something you were proud of. This is something you spread. This is something you encouraged others to follow. This is something you continued with the McDonald's nikah. This is something you have articulated based on Islamic texts and from our own religion. أقسم لك بالله يمينا يا محمد يا حجاب. أقسم لك بالله يمينا. Wallahi, because I know that I'm talking about it is the truth. So I'm calling you out to these two things. Number one, I'm calling you out for mubahala. Come out. Come out. Give me just that mubahala, that dua. Give me just one dua and then disappear. If you are ready to do this, I would like to tell you something. I give you full permission to go ahead and file defamation case against me in the UK. 100%. You destroyed my life. I had da'wah projects. I was working with 10 sisters. I was doing my da'wah work. I was taking care of myself. I was ready to get married to a real man, someone who's really going to be caring for me and my daughter. I wanted to have kids. I had ambition. I had emotions. I had love. I had trust. I had belief. You destroyed absolutely everything. You took away my health. You took away everything from me. And I'm going to tell you this. I am here. Come and face me. I am ready to come out for mubahala, and I am going to be ready to go to court with whatever you would like to accuse me of. If you would like to go ahead with that, wallahi, أفسدت علي دنياي وأفسدت عليك آخرتك.
What you just heard is not fiction. It is not AI. It is the testimony of a real sister. It is the living trauma of a sister, a Muslimah, one whose story is backed by screenshots, messages, and even the testimony of a well-known sheikh. And yet, the man at the center of it, Mohammed Hijab, continues to speak from pulpits, to find it humorous to perform marriages over WhatsApp and a McDonald's meal as the mahr, and to promote ideologies that leave women like Aisha discarded and humiliated, left with a scar of betrayal, one that she will have to carry for the rest of her life.
I've gotten people married in 1 minute, in 60 seconds, because I was busy. Honestly, someone comes to the office and say, listen, I need to get married, this and that. I say, listen, I need to go to the toilet, so this is going to have to be a quick one. I tell you the truth, I've even gotten people married on WhatsApp. And now there's a difference of opinion on the matter, but I was driving and this guy, he called me and said, look, I'm going to commit haram. He goes, I've got 2 witnesses ready on this WhatsApp group. Can I add you and you do the thing? So I brought them in. I said to the woman, I said to her, listen, this guy's probably going to leave you. I know this guy. And he was like, what are you doing? You're here to try and make things easy for me. I said, but it's not fair on the poor woman because we know that you're a pernicious man. You're a khabis. And I said, what's the mahr? And the guy said, you don't want to hear this one. This is before McDonald's was on the boycott list. He goes, I'm going to give her a meal in McDonald's. I said, sister, don't do this. I said, at least have something. No, she said, I don't mind, I don't care, whatever. It happened, and he did, in fact, divorce her, unfortunately. But I said, I told you so, and that was it.
Subhanallah. He describes the man as pernicious and khabith, or vile, yet still decides to marry off this girl to him. And he gets a hard laugh from all of this, knowing full well that a marriage of this nature will result in a destructive ending. In his own words, he says to the woman that this guy is probably going to leave you, and yet he still performs the nikah. What kind of ignorant monstrosity is this? Has he no shame in parading around and boasting about what is nothing short of a disastrous drive-through nikah? On January 28th, you proudly broadcast to the world that you completed a bachelor's degree in Arabic and Islamic Studies from Al-Azhar University after 4 years and 80 exams. But here's the real question, Hijab. Is this what they taught you in family law? That secret marriages without proper rights, witnesses, or dignity are acceptable? That you can twist sacred rulings into self-serving loopholes? Did Al-Azhar really train you to weaponize the deen like this, all at the expense of a sister? If this is your personal opinion, who gave you the authority to issue fatwa? And if you're suggesting that this is Al-Azhar's official stance, then that's not just misleading, it is flat out dangerous. Because if it is not their stance, then shame on you. Shame on you for dragging a trusted, sacred tradition through the mud just to justify your actions. You don't get to wear Al-Azhar as a badge and use it as a shield when it suits you, and then toss its integrity aside when it doesn't. Whichever way you try and frame it, this is disgraceful. Subhanallah. Is this what we have reduced our standards to? To praise and platform orators and speakers who fuel an industry of religious entertainment, sensational stories, and have no reservations or reflections on the harm and misguidance that results from such? Allahu musta'an. After speaking with Sister Aisha for months, we reached out to Mohammed Hijab. After all, he should have the opportunity to defend himself and to respond to the allegations. When we brought the case to him, he didn't simply deny it, he quickly attacked. Rather than clarifying the situation or addressing the evidence respectfully, he immediately redirected attention to my own past, accusing me of possibly wronging my ex-wife, Dunya Shuaib, and claiming that I should be questioned instead. And then he quickly reached out to Adi Dawa and had him take down a reaction video he had made about my own case against Dunya, which was just another strike against the lack of integrity with Adi Dawa. This was clear retaliation, another attempt to silence me. Instead of dialogue, instead of simply denying any such allegations or elaborating on it with his side of the story, I received veiled threats, legal intimidation, and accusations of ulterior motives. At every turn, rather than owning up to his actions, Hijab deployed tactics of diversion, intimidation, and defamation. Number 1. Despite mounting evidences, screenshots, testimonies, and even a well-respected sheikh confirming that the nikah took place, Hijab outright denied everything. He took an oath and stated, "Wallahi, I deny the entire thing," but offered no real counter evidence. Number 2. When Hijab acted as if he had no idea with regards to what and who we were talking about, the sister shared the proximity and location, having lived directly in front of Hijab's mother's home. Upon forwarding her messages to him, he immediately twisted it into another threat. He said, quote, "Anyone comes near her, I will have to neutralize them. I'll give everyone a scandal to talk about." This wasn't defense, it was a calculated intimidation tactic, an attempt to reframe himself as the victim and shut down further questioning. Number 3. Instead of addressing the sister's claims, he targeted me, the messenger. He said maybe I, the advocate helping her, was the one who abused my ex-wife, Dunya. He even suggested hiring paid actors to fake stories, a chilling way to distract, deflect, and discredit the validity of the allegations. Number 4. Hijab's representative, Isam, threatened legal action, demanding credentials, and calling us, quote, "amateur journalists sprinkled with an Islamic flavor." Hijab warned that if the sister went public, he would release a, quote, "shocking archive of her communications," a move clearly meant to silence her through shame. And number 5. In the end, Hijab wrote, "Expose me, but remember, the recompense of an evil deed is an evil like it." He invoked Quran and Hadith to mask a threat, promising retaliation if she spoke out. We confronted him. He denied it. We showed him the texts. He claimed they were fabricated. We asked for honesty. He responded with threats, accusations, and efforts to intimidate. But this is not just about one man. It's about the standard we, as an ummah, hold for those we trust with our souls and with our akhirah. And to you, Mohammed Hijab, you are not the only voice in this ummah, and we will not be silenced. Your threats, your intimidation tactics, and your relentless pursuit of pushing a false narrative riddled with lies and deflection, it will not be tolerated. Come at me, bro. I have a lot more to say and a lot more to share. I also want to make something abundantly clear. This case is about you. Spare us the usual deflection and diversion tactics to take the spotlight off of the allegations brought forth against you. Also, as you indicated that maybe I'm the one who committed dhulm against Dunya, please do offer your services to her and bring forth the case to the entire public. But do not conflate the two. Your case is about you, not about me. You're the one preaching religiosity, not me. Attacking the messenger and the one representing the case on behalf of the sister is from the first chapter of How to Squeeze Yourself Out of Accountability. And as the sister mentioned, she challenges you to do mubahilah. And if you truly want to double down on your claims and the oath you took, that there was no secret marriage, that this was just a woman who was desperate and became upset when you apparently rejected her, well, why not call upon leaders and the Islamic Council of Europe to investigate these so-called false claims? But there's one more thing I want to highlight. The sheikh that knew about your secret nikah with this sister and tried to help during the fallout between the two of you, someone who was also involved in conducting your previous secret nikah with another sister, we are fully aware of the threats you issued against him and the ultimatum you gave him to retract everything he discussed with me and essentially compelling him to silence. And because of your sick intimidation and bullying tactics, he ended up in the hospital the very next day, weak and vomiting. He didn't want to be involved with any of this, but he held himself to a standard that one day I hope you and other leaders can learn to emulate: speaking the truth. And so, after all of this, what did he do wrong? That's the question many people will cast. Isn't he allowed to marry and divorce whoever he wants? Sure, within the bounds of Sharia, a man has rights. But rights without process are a formula for abuse. In this case, Mohammed Hijab didn't just marry and divorce a woman. He became the groom, chose his own witnesses, appointed a friend as the sister's wali, and orchestrated the entire event behind a veil of secrecy and intimidation, all over Zoom. No names, no faces. He hijacked the entire marriage process, judge, jury, and executioner. This wasn't Islamic. This was manipulation masked in religious garb. We don't know if the marriage was valid or if it was simply sanctified by fake formalities, because the witnesses handpicked by Hijab are too afraid and unwilling to testify. Then what really is the purpose of having witnesses? She never received her marital rights. No home, no support, no companionship. Just 2 hotel sessions, newly instated conditions that there would be no family communication and that the marriage would be confined to exclusively meeting at hotels. And upon refusal to such ludicrous conditions, abandonment paired with gaslighting. When asked, Hijab offered silence and countered with threats. This is why we speak. This is why behind veils exist. We don't expose to shame. We expose to protect, to hold power accountable, to say no more to hacked versions of Islam paraded as being legitimate. We are a collective and no one is above this deen. Not Yasser Birjas, not Omar Suleiman, and no, not even Mohammed Hijab. So if you're watching this and you're uncomfortable, ask yourself, why? And if you're one of those who thinks this is just fitna, ask yourself, what happens when the next victim, possibly your own sister or your own daughter, walks into a trap like this and there's no one left to speak? This is not just her story. This is all of ours. My final message to Sister Aisha: you are not alone. Your voice may have been silenced, dismissed, or buried, but today you are heard. Today our ummah stands with you.